Week 18, the Niners played the Rams. We're looking right ahead to that game because week 17 is a joke.
Yeah, so people are going to say, this Rams team, they're really coming on. Matthew Stafford's really, and that guy, that defensive guy that never seems to make a play, but they always have the camera on him.
Aaron Donald.
He's always have the camera. I never saw him make a play. Yeah. So, this is a dangerous game for the 49ers. No, it isn't. The Rams stink. They are what we called earlier in this broadcast NFC tough. They're tough for the stunken NFC.
That is true. That is absolutely true.
The Niners are going to kill them. And then they'll go and we'll see what happens in the playoffs. I fully expect them to go to the Super Bowl. I don't think the Rams are going to pose much of a threat because the Rams are NFC tough and they stink. And Matthew Stafford will throw 2 picks in that game. Right?
I love that because their NFC's tough and they stink. Here's the thing, though. Let's stick with this for a second because I'm inclined to agree with you. But so the last few games, they've scored, last 5 games, they scored 37, 36, 31, 28, 30. So their offense was crap for a long time, but now they have Cooper Kupp back and this rookie Puka Nacua who's really good, and Stafford's healthy, and they have a running back named Kyron Williams who's pretty good too. So they're not terrible on offense. The Niners defense has not been good the last 2 weeks. That's all I got.
Okay. I got a question, and I don't know the answer.
Yeah.
Who did score all those points again in the last 5 games?
Okay. Yeah. No. Let's talk about that. That's a good. Okay. Let's do that. So they scored 37 against the Cardinals. No, hold on. They scored 36 against the Browns. Let's not mess around.
No, that's good. That's good.
Against the Browns. Then they played the Ravens and scored 31 and lost in overtime, which frankly is a whole lot better than the Niners did. And they did that in Baltimore. Then they put up 28 on Washington. Okay. Then they put up 30 on the Saints. It's actually a pretty good defense, but they're not going anywhere. So 36 on Cleveland, 31 on Baltimore.
Fair enough.
Against those teams.
Maybe I'm underrating them, but you know what? I feel like being a jerk. So I'm going to say the Niners are going to kill them and they're NFC tough. I just feel like being a jerk.
You know who else is NFC tough? I don't even know that they're NFC tough. They might just be soft regardless. Dallas.
Oh.
I don't even think they're NFC tough.
No. You know what Dallas is? Dallas is a fighter with a glass jaw.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Glass jaw.
Yeah.
Can't take a shot.
No.
Kenny Norton. They're Kenny Norton. Can't take a shot.
Yep.
I like Kenny.
And then the Eagles, like they're still knocked out. Like they've been searching for they've been trying to get up for the last 10 minutes.
They can't even find their mouthpiece.
Right. They're searching for like Mike Tyson against Buster Douglas.
Yeah, right.
Here's what I want to ask. So the 2 teams in the NFC that seem to matter other than the Niners are the Rams and the Lions. I don't know if I've asked you this yet on the show, but which team do you think poses a bigger threat to the Niners in the playoffs? And I'm not saying either one would beat the Niners, but which team poses a bigger threat and why?
Detroit. I think it's a better team and better coach. I think Detroit is a really good coach. I think he's really done quite a job there. And although I have certain misgivings about Jared Goff, he's either as good as Matthew Stafford or just a tick behind.
Yeah.
And if you give him
Stafford, he's going to throw 2 picks. I don't feel that way about Goff.
No.
He'll manage the game a little bit better. Stafford thinks he's a game changer, and sometimes he is. But he changes the game in a lot of different ways for both teams.
He does.
Yeah.
So I think that I don't think the Lions can beat the Niners. I think the Lions could make a game out of it, but I don't think they could beat them. But I have what I consider a more relevant question. Okay. We've been talking about NFC tough.
Yeah.
The Niners, are they tough? Are they NFL tough? Or are they NFC tough?
They got to prove they're NFL tough. 1-3 against the AFC North. You're NFC tough. And what's interesting, we're talking about teams the Niners wouldn't want to face. Well, Detroit doesn't have a great defense. The Rams don't have a great defense. The teams that have given the Niners problems are teams that have great defenses. Tough, violent defenses with great linebackers. Cleveland and Baltimore. That's not Detroit. That's not the Rams. It's teams in freaking AFC. So That's what the Niners need to avoid, teams like that.
And they may not be able. They may be meeting at the crossroads someday, not
They
too long
might
from
be.
now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're saying, and we're pretty much near the end of this, that the Niners are NFC tough.
Yeah. They're like the Dolphins. They're a team that's going to beat you with motion and deception. They like to act like they're a bully team, but it's very much about Kyle and his scheme and tricking you. It's not what the Ravens are about. The Ravens are a very simple offense. Most of their plays don't even freaking work. Lamar just starts doing whatever he wants to do, and it works for them.
Yeah. And also, I have to say, talk about tough. That AFC team beat up the 49ers yesterday. Didn't just beat them up. Hurt them.
Yeah. Let me get one stat before we go to the super chats, because I keep trying to paint the picture of the difference between these two conferences. The Niners, they're 9-1 against the NFC, and they're 2-3 against the AFC. The Ravens are 7-3 against the AFC. That's incredible. Whoa. And they're 5-0 against the, of course. Did you know Lamar Jackson is 21 in his career against the NFC?
Because the NFC is NFC tough.
Yeah. And this guy, I don't know, no matter how he plays the position, he reminds me, his will to win and his competitiveness, a lot like young Wilson. Remember, I mean, just watching Russell Wilson against the Niners, you knew he was going to find a way to win, even if he was down 10 in the fourth quarter. It was going to come.
Right.
It felt like that with this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson, no longer, because I think he's beginning to
he's done.
Lose it a little bit. But when he was good with Seattle, he was one of my favorite players. I thought he was a great quarterback. I did.
I thought so too. And I feel like there was a debate in Seattle whether he was a game manager or a game changer.
Game changer.
I thought so too. He didn't throw the ball a lot, and when he got older and made more money, they tried to make him like a pass first guy. It didn't work as well, but as a complement to a running game, he was a game changer. He produced the biggest plays with his arm and his legs. He was a great player.
Yeah.
Matt McEwen says, "Don't be shocked when the Niners lose to the Rams."
Good point.
I would be kind of shocked.
You would?
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, they took the Ravens to overtime. They only lost to the Niners by 7 week 2. They're better now. Remember after that game, Sean McVay was all manic, saying how excited he was about the loss.
Yeah, maybe he was right.
You talk about that culture. Vinyl Work says, everyone hating on Cam for speaking facts about Brock Purdy being a system quarterback. I hate to say this, but the Niners were crazy to get rid of Trey Lance.
That's old history.
Brandon Green says, Papa Cohn, did you cover Mancini versus Kim fight in 1982?
Thank God, no. Thank God, no. Kim died as a result of that fight, sweetie.
Oof.
A terrible fight. Yeah, Mancini is a good guy. He did nothing wrong, but thank God I didn't cover that fight.